Welcome to MacroCode. If you are new to this channel, consider subscribing. So today we are going to proceed with our poultry stock eggs collection system. So we've built our API. So here we have our API, as you can see. This is our API, and we also have our dashboard for the mobile app. So this is on .NET MAUI. So as you can see here, we have the total farmers, total trays, total eggs, and total collection. So if you go to farmers, this is where we'll be displaying the list of farmers. Then you also have the eggs collection. So here, this is where we'll be creating, and this data is being saved locally. We are using .NET MAUI with SQLite, but we'll also be interacting with the server, that is SQL Server, using the API that we just created. So this is our API. So we have, so this is the list of records that we created. So you can add a new record here. Then it will load a form. So you can see this is the form. We have these, we have this list of farmers. We have here the locations, the total trays. You can have here the trays. Then we have here some notes, so you can say goods. Then the date, the date, you can see we have the 2025 and 2026. So we've limited the date so that it doesn't go past 1 year, and you cannot also have the future date. So you can see it's restricted. So if I choose the date and click save, then our records will be saved locally. So then it will take us directly back to the list, and you can see we are able to access this list. So if you want to edit, you just double click on it, then it will open the record that we just added, and you can update. You can see that is what we have. So for our API, we have the counties. So here you can get the list of counties. If you just click execute, then we'll be having the list here. So you can see this is the list of records that we have in our database. Then you also have eggs collection. So we've not uploaded any record currently, so you can see it's empty. Then we have the here we have the post. So we'll be using that to submit data from our app. Then we have the farmers. So here, if you try to execute, we don't have any list of farmers. We also have agents. If we try to execute, we don't have a list of agents. We have the locations. We had added some locations to our app. You can see we have some locations here. So these are some of the locations that we have. We also have the system code details. Here we are storing the options. So we are not coding the options. So these options that you see on the mobile app, so if you come back here, so they're actually being pulled from the, we'll be linking it to the API so that it gets pulled from the server. So for now, we've just provided the list locally. But if we go to the system codes, you also have the system codes. Then we have this particular list. So yesterday, if you go back to our code now, yesterday we were able to add our interface. So you can see this is our interface, and these are the endpoints that we are going to call. So in case we need counties, we are going to call that, farmers, field agents, system code details, and system codes. Then you are able to do an implementation of this service. So we have it here. So you can see this is the API interface implementing our interface. Then we have, so we are using refits. You can see these are some of the details that we have. Then we have all this. So we have the get counties, we have the get field agent, get location, all this. But now, as you can see on our app, we don't have any list of farmers here. So you can see the farmers is this is how it looks. So, and this is the search section. So if we just clear, you can actually search it. You can just change that a bit to look like so you can have it within our text input, that is for Sync Fusion. So if I'll just come back here, and I can say, I can just put this here and wrap it. Let me just wrap it within that. Then we'll need to have, I'll borrow Syncfusion here. Then I'll have it on our list. I'll just paste it here. Then this should be good. So if we let's just launch and see how it looks like. So if we just launch, then that's fine. So if you're watching our stream and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, like the video, and also comment down below. So you can tell us where you are watching us from, and we'll be happy to engage. So in case you have any question, just comment down below. And in case you have any suggestion, we'll be happy to also incorporate. So I'll go to I'll go to this particular section. And we have our farmers. So we have our search farmers list. So if we go to eggs collection, we'll still have the same search. So this is where we'll be searching, and we have our list. Now, I want us to do some things. I want us to link our API. So remember we had created our so we have this list here. So the first thing that I want us to do is on our API, let's just confirm if we had created our application user. So you see we have these app users. So on our database, we have, so if we go back, we don't have any users currently registered. You can see we don't have any user. So this is the user the details that we have. Then I'll want us to pull the list of, so if we go here, let me just go back here. So this will be the list of farmers, and this and the dashboard we have this. So these are dummy data that we have here. But let's just go to our API. I want us to do one thing. So because this API, we are going to access it from our app. I want us to access it to use dev tunnels. So you can see here, we have dev tunnels. So you can create a new dev tunnel. So this will allow us to access our API like it's hosted in a server somewhere. So using my dev tunnel, so you can actually check how you can launch your API using dev tunnels. So if I just launch, I'll have my link. So I'll have my link of dev tunnel. So if I just come here, let me just check my dev tunnel link. So if I just come here, you can see I have my link here. I have my link here. If I just launch my API, if I refresh this, it is logged, but I also have my link. So if I try to use my link here, so it's telling me to log in. So I'll just do here swagger. So I just want to get authorization to use my dev tunnels. So just go back here. There is our API. There we go. So I'll just come here and let me authorize my dev tunnel too. Let me just do here. There we go. Just provide my credentials. Just authenticate. just paste it now here. Swagger. So I now have my dev tunnel already set. So I just try to access here. So I now have my link here. So what I want us to do, I'll come back to my API. Back to my API, then go to constants. So you see this base address here. We are putting our local IP, but for me, I'll just put in my dev tunnel link. Then don't access my link. I'll be removing that link in a short while, but you can actually access. If you try to access right now, you'll be able to access it. So if I go back to my API, I want us now to do some things. So first thing is we can actually set up our login section. So if you go to our login button, you realize that you are able to have this. In case you don't have provided the username and PIN, then you are not getting these credentials, then we give you an alert. So you can say this is missing username. Then you can say this is missing password. Or you can say this is missing PIN. So that's what we have. Let me just minimize that. So that's missing PIN. Then, so I want us to, whenever we have the credentials, we should supply the credentials to the user. Then we should be able to log in. Now, our login page. So where go to the implementation. Where is it? Get access token. So this one, they're trying to get the token. Let's just go back here. So if we're trying to get the token, then you can say here variable result equals to. You can see we have await API connection. Then we can say get token. Then we pass our password. So, but if you can say if result. So this we're expecting a string. If this is string is null or empty, then we can save locally our token. So this is else. Do this. So if this is null or empty, then we can say login failed, invalid username and password. But else, if we have the token, then we can store the token locally. So how do we want us to do that? So we can store the token locally and we can proceed. Now let's come to our settings. I want us to, you see here we had a username and a password. So I also want us to have here a string, then we can say bearer token. Bearer token key. Then you can say this is token. So then here I'll just provide my token. So I want us to store this. I'll say this is bearer token. It will be bearer token key. Then we'll have this as empty. Now, if I come back to our login, if the token is not empty, what I want us to do, I'll say here settings. I'll do here, I'll store this in my preferences. I'll say settings, then dot current dot token, bearer token, then I assign my result. So this result will be a string. But now I want to, this one I'll store it like this. I'll say here bearer, then give it some space, then I do result. So that's what we want to do. Now, if I try to log in to launch, so let's go to our login page. That's the home page. Instead of redirecting to the home page, I want us to redirect to the login screen. So let's just proceed and launch our app. So if we launch our app, then we should be able to open, instead of going to the login page, we should go to the, instead of going to the dashboard, we should go to the login screen. So, but now this is our API for those who are watching for the first time. So let me just close some of the, so this is our API here. So this is our API, and you can see here we have this. So I want us to put a breakpoint to our API. We'll just come here, and we are going to contact the get token endpoint. So if you go to controllers, then tokens, so you can put a breakpoint here to see if we'll actually get the response. So here is our app. You can also put a breakpoint on the login page, on the login section. Let's just put a breakpoint here. So that is here. You see if we are going to hit here. So here I'll put in, because we don't have any details currently, I'll just put in some numbers. So we say login. So you can see we have our breakpoint. So this is our breakpoint. And if I proceed, we should actually hit our API breakpoint on the other side. So there is an error. So what is the issue here? Do you have a try catch? We actually added a try and it doesn't have a catch. So let's do here catch. You have an exception, login failed, an error occurred during login, then you have the message. So let's try to see. Let me try to see. So I'll just, if you go to the API, I think we might have added the wrong, yes, we added the wrong URL. So this should be this way. So this is my dev tunnel. So if you try to access that link right now, you should be able to get my API. So you can actually access it from wherever you are. So let me just try here. I'll try to provide the credentials. So I'll just provide some weird characters. And if I try to log in again, so we have our dev tunnel, we have our API here, and we have the username and PIN. If I proceed, let me put a breakpoint here. You can see we have this. Then it's telling us unauthorized. So we created, our dev tunnel is currently private. So let me create another one that is public. So so I'll just come here. Then on our API, that is, I want to create a public one. I'll just create a new dev tunnel. Then I'll come and say, sorry, let me create a new one. Then I'll say here public API. So then I'll choose that as public. Then if I click OK, my dev tunnel has been created, and I can actually access it from here. So where is it? So this is the public one. If I just launch, I'll want to, let me just do this. I'll want to get the link of my dev tunnel. This is low. So let me just go back here, and I can try to get the link. So this is public. So if you try to access this now, you should be able to access my API. I'll just paste it here, and this should be public. If I launch this, or even open it on my browser, I'll just come here. If I open it here and do Swagger, so you should see my, this is which one have we copied? Let me just continue. So let me just confirm if we copy the correct one. So I'll just come here. Sorry. Oh, the API was not up. That's the issue. So let me just relaunch. So we just come here, and so this is my link. You can see the API is up now, and you can actually access my API from wherever you are. If I do this, if you can access it, type down below and tell me if you're able to access. If I just do this, then I do that, then I should now be able to mimic my server, and when I click login, I should be able to see the details that I'm providing. So here, if I go to our app and try to provide details, let's put in a breakpoint on our API here. See if we can be able to reach it. I think we had added it. So we just put in some weird text here, and just do that. If I click login, so this is our API right now is pointed to this dev tunnel link. So if I just proceed, let's just confirm. So there we go. We have an exception. It's telling us unsupported media type. So you can see it is telling us here. Let's go to the token. This one is telling us it's a post. And if we go to our API, let's confirm. This is a post. And you can see there is one thing that is happening. So on our API, we are expecting a bearer token model, but here we are sending the string, so which is wrong. So here you can go back here, take this. So we need to take this model. Then I'll go to our app. Where is our app? Then I'll just come here. Let me create a class called entities. Then here I'll paste this. So I'll paste this. So this should house all this. Now we have that. Now let's go to our login page. Then before you log in, you can say variable credentials equals to new. Then we have our model. Then we can assign these credentials. We say here dot a username. We provide the username. Then we also have so let me just comment this. We also have the password. You can provide say password. This is PIN. We provide the PIN. Then we need to change our, then these credentials is what we are going to provide here. So it is expecting an object. So if we go to our model also, here we are going to, so we need to change this so that it also expect an object. So what we need to do here, we'll just come on the interface. We need to add, we need to tell it what we need to send. So here we'll say this is, we'll do this. Then we say your body. Then we have our bearer token. We'll say bearer token. Where is it? So let's just pick it. So how many of you guys have accessed our API link? So there we go. Then if you go to the implementation, our service, here we'll also do the same thing. So we need to, we'll change this. Instead of this, we'll just say here, bearer token VM. Then here we'll send our VM. So that's fine. So let's relaunch our app and also see. So we should be able to access our, reach our API, which is actually, we are using dev tunnel. So this is our link, so you can see. So it looks like our API, it is actually public. So if you try to access it, you are able to access it from anywhere you are. So if you're watching our videos and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, like the video, and also comment down below. I'll say this is, I'll put in a pin. Then if I click OK, login, so you can see, there we go. So where are we now? You can see this is on our API, and we now have our breakpoint. So we hit our breakpoint from the API. And if you hover here, we'll get the results. So you can see this is the pin and this is the username. So that means our API is now communicating with our app is now communicating with our API. So we are able to link that. And if you go to here, you can now validate the credentials that we have here and get the token. But now we've not been able to create a user. So let's just, I think we'll have to create a user. So let me just proceed. Then I'll just come back here. We can see this is, it's saying bad request. So we'll be able to see that. But we can now access with, we can now get access to our app. And our app is now communicating with the API. So the one thing that we need to do now is we need to create, let me see if you guys are started misusing my API. So yes, I can see some guys here are actually doing something. So I can see someone trying to post things on my API. I can see that. I can also, so I think just to, yes, I can also see someone trying to post things on the system codes. So what I want to do, I think just because of that, guys, so what I'll do is I'll come to my dev tunnel. So then I'll do this. So I'll just remove so that you guys don't misuse my dev tunnel. Now, so currently it's now not available, so you can't access it. So let me delete that. So I think, let me delete where it from system code, from system code where ID is greater than 2. So you guys misused my, so we have even the system codes. Okay, this is a system code. So let me just delete system codes where ID is foreign key details. Okay, I think we had added some things here. System code ID, so that's fine. So I want us to create users. So I'll just come to this section. Yeah, so if you try to access my API right now, you'll not be able to access it. I'll just disable that for now, but I've shown you how you can go around that. If I just relaunch my API, so let me just relaunch it. Where is it? So it's here. So I want us to create a user, then we can try to log in that user in our app. So I'll just come back here. Just come back here, and then if we do here Swagger, then we have the mobile app users. Where is it? So do you have the mobile app user controller? No. I think for now let's add that controller, then we'll be able to move it. So that user should be added from the admin page, and we are going to create a Blazor, which is actually a Blazor application, which is going to be the dashboard receiving data from our app. So here I'll go to mobile app user. I'll create a controller to add users. So there we go, it's generating our code. So if you're watching our video and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, like the video down below, and you can also share some comments in case you have some comments. So our code is generating. And as you can see, we have our mobile app user now. So let's just launch this API and see. So we've not done anything there much. Just we'll just proceed. And if you go back to our API, refresh, we should be having a new endpoint to create users. So you can see this is the endpoint, and you can create new users on these particular endpoints. So I'll just post a user. So here I'll create a user. So here I'll put that. I can put here null. Say this is null. Then modified by, I can put this is null. Then we can have the first name. We can say macro. Last name, middle name, we say code. Then you can say admin. Then username, we can say admin@gmail.com. Then our phone number, we can put in some numbers. Then email address, we can also put in that. So username, we can say something like, so let's see if we have that username in our database. I think we can try to put in, let me just come here, the mobile app users. So this is our table. So here we have the username. Yeah, so I think username we can put in a very simple thing, or we can put in the username, the email. Let's call it, let's use email. Then the pin, we can put in some numbers. So if I try to execute this, it's telling us the mobile app user field is required. Which one is required? Created by. So this one I can do here string. I can do here, because it's a string, let me put in macro code. Then I can also put in here macro. Then if I execute, so there is an invalid state of property. So we have this, which is wrong. If I execute this, so you can see our user is created. So you can have, so you can see we have a list, and now a user here, and we are going to use this user to log into our app. So we can create another user. Let's create another user. Let's call it admin. Code admin. Can call it super admin. Then you can say this code. So then you can say the username, you can have a super@gmail. This is also super@gmail. Then I can execute as well. So we'll have a user here. So we have that user. Let's also call this John. That's another user. Admin John Mwangi. Say this is Karanja. Then we say this is John. Then phone number, we can change this. Then we can also have this as John. Same password. I'll now have the user here. So I now have three users in my application, in my database. So we try to retrieve these users. So let's just refresh our API. And we can now, if you go to users, you can get this list of users. So if I execute, you can see I have my list of users here. So now I want us to validate our API. So you can see here, if you come to our API, get token. So where is our tokens controller? So we say here username, we say provide username and PIN. So if you found that, then we return the result. So let's try to log in by the way. So this is our API. So let's provide the username and PIN to see if it will be authenticated. But that is not the token. So we are going to also see how we are going to add the token to our app. So I'll go here and say, where is the get token? So I'll say here username. Then I'll say here, you can get the username. This is the email. Then here I'll come and say my PIN is 1. So we'll be hashing that PIN. So just don't worry about it. So let's put a breakpoint on our get token. So if we come here and say execute, so you'll see we have this. So here we'll be having the value, the PIN, and we also have the admin@gmail, which is the username. So if we proceed until this particular point, then we'll get, so there we go. You see, we'll get the result and it will give us the user. So that means our PIN is valid. And if we proceed, it will be able to return the logged in user. So if we just proceed, you can see able to return in the logged in user. So for now, I'll just add another, I think for this endpoint here, I'll rename this. So I'll copy this and have it down here. Then I can call this login. So I'll call this login, and also this one is login. Then for now, let's just log in. So I'll be showing you how we can authenticate and authorize our API. So let's just log in for now. Then here it will give us this result. So that means if you go to our API, we need to introduce another, and on our interface, we can introduce another. I'll just copy this. And here we can call this login. Then here it is the same thing. But now, instead of it returning a string, it is actually returning an object, which is mobile app users. So then this is, we'll say this is login. Then we should actually implement this. So if we go to our interface, we'll get an error. This is the error that, so if you do that and click implement interface, then it will add it here. So we'll just come here and paste this. Then we should be able to change this to login. We'll say this is login. Then this will remove this. What is the issue here? So this is a sync. We'll say this is a sync. Then you can see that's fine. Now, if you go to our login page, we'll now change, instead of get token, let's just change this to login, but we'll be actually validating how you, so you can see here, this is now not result. So we'll say here, if result is not, if result equals to null, then that means the user has failed to log in. So let me create my dev tunnel again, and I'm not going to show you guys my dev tunnel, or I can just, let me just create it, because I'll be removing it after the session. So let me just That is our app launching. Let's go to the API. So for the API, I'll stop it. Come here, dev tunnel, create a new one. Then I can say here will be public, and I'll say public API. If I just click that, so it has been created. Then I can say, let me just get it. So dev tunnels, details. So I'll just copy it here. So this is my API. I'll just submit. So I want us to so there we go. So I'll just come there. So I want us to, let me just change my dev tunnel, my API link. I'll change my API link. So if I just go to the app and now try to log in, let's put a breakpoint here. So let's put a breakpoint here again. And if we go back here, let me just try to access my dev tunnel. So I'll just do here. So is my API running? No. Let me launch it. So I should be able to launch, then try to access. So I should ensure that the API is accessible before doing anything. So if I go back here, I'll just confirm. So my API is up and running. So I'll need to choose need to ensure that the dev tunnel is selected and it's running. So if I just come here, so I'm trying to, I think I copied the wrong link. So let me just launch our API, and I'll need to update my link for the API. So on the mobile app, I'll just update the link. So I'm just updating the API link. So don't worry. So there we go now. So let me launch our app. Then we should be able to access, try to log in now. So we launch our app and try to click login. Then we should be able to access the data from, you see this is the API. So we just come here and say login. Then we provide the email address and PIN. So this is our PIN. We will just say execute. So it should validate and give us the result. So you can see this is the result. We have our data here. So that means that user has been validated. So I'll just do the same on the app, just to confirm if our app is communicating with our API. So that is the email. Then our password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I click OK, so these are credentials. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then admin@gmail.com. Then if we proceed, you can see our app is loading. So that's what you should show the user. So it's actually loading. Then when we click on the result, you'll see our app has been able to pull the data. So this is the data. So it's communicating with the API and it has actually retrieved the records. So these records that we have here, we need to store it locally within our app so that we are able to access anything that we want. Now, there is that process, and I want us to see how we are going to. So we need to save those data locally, so that when user is logged in, or even when they are offline, we don't need to worry so much about anything. So I'll just come here, and I need us to do one thing. So I'll just comment this. I'll just say if. So I think here this, if that is null, it will not save. Now I want us to say, because we have the details of the user, we need just to save the user details and proceed without any challenge. So I'll say here variable logged in user equals to so the logged in user will be this guy here. So then I'll say await app dot database dot create async. So we'll just create the user here. Let me just do that. So this user will be created, and that is fine. Now we'll be having this record in our app. But now, before even doing that, I want us to get the user details before even doing this. I'll say here variable, or you can even say, let's just do this variable logged in user. You can say await. Then you can say app dot database, then dot get table row. So this is actually app dot database dot get table row, and this one you are getting the row of the mobile app user. Then here you can do this. We'll just do this. We'll get that user, and we can also supply the email, the username. So here you can supply the username. We check if that user exists. Then the user that we should use is this result. Then we say dot username, so that we don't get multiple records. So if this already exists, is not equal to null. So if this is not equal to null, then what do? We can actually delete the app dot database dot delete async. So let's just confirm delete async how it works. So it is the entity. I'll just go back here, and you can say this is await, and you can delete this, because we don't know the details that we've received from the server if it has been updated. So once that is deleted, then we can insert, we can create a new record. So let's just relaunch our app and see how this looks like. So we are storing the credentials locally just to check if we are able to log in and access the details. So let's just proceed and see. So we just do that. Let me just see. So you can see here we have our admin at gmail.com. Then we have our password 12345. So let me put in a breakpoint here. If I click OK, our credentials will be valid. So you see it says bad request. So is our API running, or our credentials is actually what is the problem? Let's just confirm Gmail and just clear and do that. So this is admin at gmail.com. Then our password is 12345. If I click OK, this is the credentials. Then if I proceed, we have that. So we have our results. So we have the details. If we just proceed, so our email username is that. So you're checking if you have the logged in user locally. So you can see it's null. If I proceed here and do that, so sorry, we should actually, this should not be logged in user, but it should start. So I'll just remove that and try to log in here. So if you're watching our videos and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, like the video down below, and also comment, share some feedback in case you have one. Then you'll be happy to engage. So I'll just do here admin at gmail. Then these will be 12345. So we just click OK. It'll give us the results. You can see here we have the results. Then if I proceed, the username here, we have our email. If I just go next, I have this is now. Then we have our result. So the result, this is what we want to create, and it will actually create a local. If I just move, so this data should have been inserted. So I want us to check something. So let's go to our admin homepage. Remember we said here, oh sorry, we need to store this in our shared preferences. So let's do that. So let's go to our login. We need to store. So here I'll just say, once this is created, store the username. So I'll say settings equals to. So I'll just stop this. Let me remove this now. I think we are good up to that, so that we don't have more. So I'll say here this dot. Let me also remove this. So I'll say this dot username. We are storing preferences here. So we just launch now. We should now be able to access our app. And so let me just put this here. So currently, because we are assuming now we have some records on our database, so we should be able to, it should be able to delete now and create a new one. So at gmail.com, then I can say this is 12345. If I click OK, so you can see it says here, try prefixing a URL with the home page. So let's do that. So let's do this. Let's just do this. Can do here 1 2 3. So I just do this. So if we click our breakpoint, let me stop our app and clean. Dock this, minimize it here. So let me put in a breakpoint here, launch our app, And I want us to put a breakpoint also on this other end so that we see if we are able to get the details of the logged in user. So if you're watching our feedback and if you're watching our video and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, like the video down below, and also share. So we'll just launch our app and see how this looks like. So there we go. So it's launching. So we should now be able to see our logged in details here, and we want to set the username on the preferences. So I think I'll set this and also maybe the full name of the person who is logged in. Then we should be good to go. So let's just wait for our app to launch. It should be taking some few minutes, then we'll be up and running. So our app is launching. Our app is launching, so let's just wait and see. So there we go. We have our app launching. So we should now be able to log in and do some things. So you can see here it's checking. Actually, we had actually said this. So if we proceed, let's check. Yes, we actually have our credentials. I think we are good. So it should take us now to the dashboard. You can see it has taken us to the dashboard. Now, I want us to implement our login page, logout. So if we come to logout, what should happen is if you click logout, you should be logged in and it should clear the, let's go to logout. We had only implemented the cancel logout. So we need to implement the logout button so that whenever you log out, you're able to clear the cache and also the credentials that you have on your app. So you can say public, then you say async, then you say task, then you can say here logout, then you can do that. Then here we'll decorate this with the relay command. Then here you can say, so the first thing we need to say is settings. Settings, which is under helpers, we say current dot username. We should set it to string dot empty. Then we should also get the, we should also delete the user. We'll just come here to our logged in user. We can come here. So first thing is we get that user from the database. You can see here we should use this. We get that user from the database. Then if it's not null, then we delete. Then we set this to empty. We can wrap this into try. Then you can say this is a catch. I'll stop this. So then you can say except. Then we have that. You can see here we have this. So this we should be having it here. I'll minimize this. You can see now we have so when you click logout, so you can also have our is busy. You can set it to true, but if it's running, then we don't need to do anything on it. Then once this is here, you can set it to false. You can do here false. Then also here, if there is an error, and set that to false. So if we try to log out now, so let's go to logout page. You can borrow the activity indicator here. You go to logout page, you should be having it somewhere. I think we have it here. So then on our logout page, we should decorate this now with logout. We'll do a command. Then we say this is logout. This is logout command. So just confirm that this is fine. So you'll just copy that and do here. Then you say command. So if you log out, then it will come and get the data locally that we've stored, clear it, and also empty the preferences that we've shared. Then it will redirect you to the login page. So if we launch the app right now, it will take us to the dashboard. But now we want us to ensure that you can be able to log out and you need to log in, log back in. So let's just confirm. We'll just proceed and see how that looks like. So you can see this is our dashboard. I'll come here and say logout. Let me put a breakpoint on the logout button. So I say logout, you can see we are there. And if I proceed, I can see if it will get the value. You can see it is able to retrieve the value locally on our app. So it will delete, then move to this page. Then here you see this was the value. We are setting it to empty. Then it will redirect us to the login page. So there we go. If I proceed, you can see it has taken us to the login screen. Now let us put in the email now at gmail.com. Then here I say admin. So here I'll put the password 12345. If I click login, so you can see our login page, what it is doing. So just to confirm, we have everything okay. So I'm just providing the at gmail.com. Just provide the correct password. So you should be able to also handle some issues related to errors. You can see here we have our results. Then if we move next, we are setting the username. So I'll just remove this. Then if I proceed, then you can see it has taken us to the dashboard. Now I want us to work on something now. So we've been able to log in now on our app, and we've been able to access this particular section. So I want us to go to this, and I want us also to have our full name here. We can have our full name on our preferences. Full name, you can set here the key. Just maybe set here. Set here, say full name key, and I can call this full name. Then here I'll just set here the key. Then I'll say this is empty, and I can also set this here. So on my full name, I'll come here and say I can also set the full name of the person who is logged in, so that whenever I want to use it, I can just use it. So you can see I've set those two. So then the next thing that I want us to do is every time I log in, I can be able to put the dashboard or the details of the logged in user. So I'll just go to my view model, which is under local base view model here. Then I can define I can have here my display name. So I can just come here and do this. I'll say this is string, and I can say here underscore display name. So this display name of the person who is logged in within the app. So I can do this. I can say here display name equals to, I can say here settings dot current, then dot full name. Then I can also have my username. I can say here my username. So here I'll just put in underscore username. Then I can comment this. I can do that. Then here I can say username equals to same thing. Just have this here, username. So once I have these two, then I can actually come to my dashboard. Remember my dashboard? So my dashboard looks like this. So I don't know even the person who is logged in. So that's the challenge that I have. Now I can set this up so that I'm able to access and know whenever someone is logged in, then I'm able to know the person who is logged in. So on this particular dashboard, I can make some changes just to reflect the logged in user and show the details of the person who is actually logged in. So the first thing that I want us to do is I'll come here on the dashboard. Then so this is how our dashboard looks like. Then overview dashboard, we have something like that here. Then just be within this overview dashboard, I can have just before it, I can have my vertical layout. Then I can say here margin, do your 5. I'll do a padding 5. Then I can say here spacing, say 5. Then I can close this. Then here I can say I can have this as a horizontal layout. Let's see. If I have this, then I say here label. So let's do here label. Then font attributes, I can do here bold. Then I can do here font size. I can do 15. Here text, I can say here logged in as, or I can call, let me just call it user full name. Then I can say horizontal text alignment. I can say here start. Then I can close this. I'll also have another one. I can copy the same. Then here I can have that. So let me just see how it looks. So you can see here, but this one I can say here end. So it should, so you can see this is the value. Then I can also do the same thing. Let me just do that. If I copy this, what will be the I'll have that. So here I can do the value here. I'll do binding. Then I can say display name. So let me relaunch our app and see. We should be able to see the person who is logged in now within our application. So let's just wait for our app to launch. So if you are watching our video and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, like the video, and also comment down below. So in case you have any suggestion, just type in and we'll be able to see. You can also type down below where you are watching us from, and we'll be happy to know where you are watching us from. So as you can see here, we have the display username. It's empty. So what is the issue now? So if you go to our home page, you see this is our view model. If you go to our, why is it not giving us? You can see this is the full name. Yeah, we need to log out and log back in. Let's just log out. Log out. Then we just provide our, we'll say admin at gmail.com. Gmail.com. Then you can say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I just click sign in, so you can see our sign in, and you can see here we have our username, macro code admin. So that means we've been able to display the name of the person who is logged in. So let's make it a bit bigger. So let's just do here, this is bold. You can say text color. You can say here static. This is binding. Static resource. Then you can do here, let's say this is black. Then this one we can say it should be, this is green. Say green. So this is the user. Here we can do 18. Let's say this is 18 as well. And we can say here full name. If we update this, we should be able to see changes. So you see we have our full name, and here we can say here, I think we have that, that's fine. Now, if I copy this again, let me just see how it looks like. It will go that way. But if we do here vertical layout, if we do vertical layout, so you can see there we have that those text, and we have this as well. So I want us to display. So you see here we have the full name and that. So let me just do another one down here. So let's just remove that. So I can have this as a grid actually. So let me just put this in a grid. So I can just put this here. Then I'll say here, column definition is 2, row definition is 2. Spacing, that's fine. Then I can wrap this in a grid. Then we say this is grid.row 0. Then we say grid.column we say here 0. Then we copy this. This should be grid 0 column 1. Then I wanted multiple. I want 2 fields, 2 rows here. So I'll just copy this again and say this will be grid row 1 column 0. This is row 1 column 1. Then here will be email address. Then if we have that, then we are good to go. So as you can see here now, instead of this, we can display now here username. So you can call this username. So if I update this, let's see how it looks like. So you can see we now have our full name, email address, we have it here, and that is our email address. Now, I want us to change the logo. So I want us to change the logo. And to change the logo, I'll just copy my logo and replace what we have here, the .NET MAUI logo. And how do you do that? If you have your logo, so let me just access my logo, and we should be good to replace it with that. I'll just copy my logo, come back here on our platforms, under resources. So under resources, you should go to images, and you can see you have these details. So if I just paste this, so I've pasted my logo. I'll come here and replace this with the logo. If I just do that and update my app, you should see the change. Let's just do it again. So you have the logo PNG. Let me rebuild it and see. So I want to change the logo, and you'll also be changing the splash screen as we go along. So if you want to see how that works, so just stay tuned and we'll be happy to work on that. So as you can see, our app is launching, so stay tuned and we'll be good to do that. So let me just see. Our app is launching. So we noticed 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you haven't subscribed. So consider subscribing, like the video, and also comment down below. So let us know how the episode is going on. If you feel we need to change something, then tell us down there. So our app is launching, so let's just wait and see. So I want us to change it to use our logo. Then we should be good to proceed. So let's just go there. So you can see this is our logo. We now have our macro code logo. So if I just do here 60 and update, there we go. And do here, let me do here 80. So you can see this is our logo. So we have our macro code logo now, and this is our app. So I don't know if we had, so you can see here now we have our full name. Now we can also put our name on this other side. So you can see here, and also the logo. So I'll change the logo, go to our app shell. Then I'll put here logo. And if I just update our app, so you can see the logo has been updated. And can do here with request. Let me do 120. I see how it looks like. Let me see. It doesn't do much. So let me just do 100. So here, you remember we had row. These are 2 rows. So I'll just do here star. Do here also star. This is star. Then I can add another one, which will actually display our. So you can see this is how it looks, and I can add another one here. So if we check on our app shell, how is it? On our app shell. So this is our app shell, and I want us to display the name. That's the name of the logged in user. So, or we can just leave it the way it is. So there's no problem. Now there is one thing now I want us to do. I want us to pull the data. For example, before you go to the field for this guy who is actually an agent, they should be able to pull the farmers list from the database and proceed. So they should be working on a list of farmers that are there on the system. So I want us now to create another page, and we are going to call that page data exchange. So I'll come here and say new page. I'll call it data exchange. So we said this application will be working offline at some point, So we'll need a way on how we can push data to the server, and whenever there is an issue, we can also update changes on our application. So I'll just minimize this. So our data exchange, I can also create a view model. I'll create a view model here called data exchange view model. So once I have that, this will be our public ID. Then I can do this. So this data exchange of ours, you can also do here view local base view model. Then we can have here PTO, can have that. Then we need now to have something. So we need to have this. So we can do here partial. Then we can also come here and register it in our program.cs. I'll just register our page here. And also we need to register this XAML file. So sorry, I'll just copy this and I'll register it here. So if you go to app shell, you can also do the same here. I'll just register it here. Now go to app shell and we can have our page. So which is the data exchange page. So I'll just add it here. I'll call it data exchange. So I think I usually find it good to call, let me just delete this. I want to call it data exchange page. So I don't want to leave it that way. So I don't know. So I'll do data exchange page. So that's fine. So if I just come back here now, I'll register this as data exchange page. Then if I go to view model, I'll just paste this here. Then here you can say, I can call this data exchange. Data exchange, I'll also have this as data exchange. Then I'll say this is exchange. So that is exchange. Now I want us to do one thing. So remember yesterday we were able to access the icons from icons 8. I want us to also access them here. So I want us to get an icon for upload, download. Let's see what it will give us. So tell us where you're watching us from. Comments and like the video. So if you tell us, then it will be good to see and engage. So here you can see my upload and so sorry, I'll just remove that. So here we can have upload, download. This is upload and download. So I'm looking for an icon that talks both upload, download. So we can do here, let's just look for an icon. I'm just looking for an icon that talks for both upload and download. No, we don't have such an icon that can actually use it for both sides. Let's say sync. So if we do sync, yes, we can use this. We can use this. I'll just copy this. Then we'll be using that icon. You can say this is exchange. Then I'll go to our app and I can paste it here. So you have exchange. Then I'll just replace with our icons there. So once you have that, we just launch our app. We should be having those. We should be able to see. So this is saying something here. Yes. So this should be the exchange page. So there we go. I launch the app. Then we see how this looks like. So let's see. I'll just dock this here. So we should be able to have now another page where we'll be uploading data and downloading data from the server. So let's just see how that looks like. So let's confirm. So our app is launching. So our app is launching. Let's just launch and see. So there we go. I'll just so you can see we have our app. Here we have the total farmers, total trays, total eggs, and we have here the farmers. And now we have our data exchange page. So if I click on data exchange, you can see now it's a free page. So this is where we say we can go back to our data exchange. Then we can call this call it data exchange. So if we just update it, then our page will look as data exchange. Now this page is where we are going to have two buttons for uploading data and downloading data. So I want us to create something here on this particular page. So I'll just come here and say, you can have this as a scroll view. So let me zoom this. So then here we can do that. So this is how it looks. So here I can remove this label here. Then I can do grid. Can say this is row definitions. You can actually borrow some grids that we have done. So where is it? On home page. So you can see this. I'll just borrow this here. And if I go to our data exchange, I can just paste it here. So this is how it looks. Let me put it in a row. So this is how it looks. So then I can close the grid. So, but before even closing the grid, I'll have row definitions. So I'll need two. I don't need column definition. Sorry, I don't need this. So I'll need two buttons. So the first thing, do I even need the vertical layout? Let me remove this. Then here I can have the vertical layout inside it. Then I can say this is a grid. This is grid dot row or 0. Then I can do here. I can say spacing. I can do 6. Then margin. I can do, let's say 0, 40, 0, 25. Then here inside I can have my label. I can say label text. I can say file. So this will be file transfer. Then I can do font size and say 38. I can also do text color. Then I can do static resource. I have my colors here. P primary, that one. Then I can close it. I usually find it closing it this way. I can also copy the same and I can paste it here. Then this one, I'll put in some text. I can say securely, securely upload or download your data. So then this one I'll say 16, and this one I'll say here green. Then after doing that, I'll put here, so let's see if it is reflecting. You can see this is our page, how it looks like, but also this is I can have this as a horizontal text alignment. I can say center. I'll also want this to be at the center. So if I just do that, I have my text now. You can see there, we have my file transfer. So this is, you can say this is data upload download. So say data upload stroke. You can say data transfer. You can say this is data transfer. Just have it that way. Now, then we need to have, I'll just do here a border. Then I can say grid grid dot row. Say here row. I'll have this is my first one, top shaped. Then I can say here round rectangle, be 30. Then I can say here background color. Background color, I can have this as a binding static resource. I can do here white. Then I can do padding. Can say here 30. Then I'll just do that. Then down here, I can do border dot stroke. Then I can close it. Then here I can say solid color brush. I can say color. I can do static, and I can do static. I can say here dark orange. Now this is stroke shape actually. Stroke shape. Why is it this one? Now I can close this. So that's fine. But now I also want to copy this and have it down here. I can say stroke shadow. Then I'll have my shadow. I'll say here shadow. A shadow, and do a brush, and do here ash. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I can also do, so this is so you can say here also static. I can do here black, the same thing. Then I can do offset, and do here 0, say 8. Then I can also have radius, say here radius. Can do here, let's say 20. Then I can also have opacity and do 0.15. So this is my border. But now I want us to, let's see if we have something. You can see the border down here. It's coming. So you can see how it is looking. So here I can also have something now. I can do here now within the border, vertical layout. I'll close it. Then I can say spacing. I can do 30. Then I'll now need the buttons. I'll have the button. Then I'll say text. So this text of mine, I can just, let me just say upload. I want it to have something like an emoji. I'll say upload data. I'll just copy it with an emoji. Then I can say here, so the button, so for the button style, I can say here font size, I can say 18. Font attributes, I can say bold. Then let me just do that. Then I can say corner radius, I can have as 20. Then height request, can do 65. Then I can also say text, color, I can do, so that's for upload, so I can do static, and I can do green. Then I can also have padding. I can have here padding. Then this will be 15. Then I can close my button. This is my button, so I can close it here this way. So if we just go check, so you can see this is the button, and you can see this is white. Let's just do that. You can see the button, the color there. You can see we don't have the background color. So here we can say background color. Can do here static resource green. If we do that, you can see our background color has changed. Now I'll copy the same button. Then I can also do the same for download. So I'll do that, and I'll paste it here. So I'll take an emoji for downloading, that is arrow down. Then I can say download data. Then you can see this is our button. But there is one thing that I want us to do for these particular buttons. So here we can say this is background. We can say here orange. So that's fine. So you can see upload and download data. But we can have some styles to this button. So let's see if this will work. If we say here, can say here button, and say here button background, button with the background. Then I'll just close it. Then if we say linear gradient brush, say starting point, we say 0, 0. Then ending point, we say 1, 1. Then we close it. Then inside we say gradient stop, we do color. So let me put in some, let me put in some colors. So let me just put in a color here, like that. Then you can say offset, can do 0. 0. Then I can close this. I can also copy this. Yeah? Sorry. Let me just if I just do this, I can have a different color. Let me choose a color. I'll just choose a color, then you can have it here. So if I just do this, then you can say this is 1.0. I don't know if this will work. So let's launch our app and see. So that's more of so we are going to implement those buttons now so that you're able to download data and sync it back. So let's launch our app and see. So if you're watching our video until this particular point and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, like, and also comment down below. So you notice 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you haven't subscribed. So I'll just go to Data Exchange. You can see this is our button. So this one will actually do away with our orange. So I don't think we can just do away with it. So let's just have it this way. This looks a bit cool. So for the spacing, so let me just do here. So there we go. So as you can see now, we have these buttons. But now this button here, where is it? Spacing, we have the columns. I'll just remove that. Then this one I can do here a 10. Let me do this 10. There we go. But now the buttons here, they are a bit far. Let me just do here 10. Let me do 20. We see that's fine. But now the border is way too far from this. So this is so we have static row 1 0. Then the row definition is 2. Row spacing is let me just remove this. That's fine. Font size, then spacing here. Let's do here 20. A bit close. Do 80. So there we go. Now on our buttons here, I want us to add our activity indicator. If you go to the buttons, where is the button? The login page. We'll take this activity indicator and we can have it on our data exchange. So our data exchange, we can have it somewhere here. And this is our scale. So this is how it looks. So that's fine. So this is our data exchange page, and we can actually have let me look for an image. I think we can just leave it that way, so there's no problem. So since we have this, I want us to bind our view model now to our page. So we are not done the binding. So if you check how we are doing it on home page, so not even the home page, let's do for farmers. So this is it. I'll just copy this, then go to our data exchange. I'll paste this here. Then I can say this is data exchange. Not even this one. I think the best one was login. So this is what we should actually bind it with. I'll just come here and paste it. Remember, you're going to interact with the API on this particular page. Then we are going to say this is data exchange view model. So on our view model, we don't have that. So we can borrow what we had done on the login page. So this is what we had done. I'll just copy that. And we go to data exchange here. And I'll just paste this here. Then you can also have this here. So we now have our view model. Now we need two buttons. So the first button is public. So we'll do public async task. Then we say it's a data upload. So this is for uploading data. So here we can do try. So let's stop our app. So you can do your try, you catch. In case there's an error, it will give us an error. Then remember here we do if he is busy, then it's able to learn from what we've been doing. So you can see there, and also we can set this in case there's an error. You can set this to false. So I'll format this, and we can close this format as well. So you can see if there's an error, then we'll have data upload failed. An error occurred during data upload, then we get the message. Then for this to be a button, so we have to do relay command. So we can copy the same here, and you can say here data download. So in case they want to download some data. So those two buttons, so we'll bind them. We'll come here and say, where is it? We'll come here and say command. So this is for data upload. Then here you can also come and say command. We say data down. So it's giving this download data. So let's replace it. Let's have it that way. Then you can have this is upload data. Upload data. So those two will actually now check. So if we launch our app and try to click those two buttons, then we'll have our activity indicator loading without doing anything. So we need now to upload data that has been collected in the field and the data that has been, and now the settings. We need to download the agents details and also the farmers. So let's just open our app. I'll come back here. If I go to data exchange, you can see this is our exchange. So if I click upload, you can see our screen, and you can also increase the scale of that activity indicator. So I come here and say 4. So you can see that is our data exchange. So if you click upload, then it will be able to load and push the data to the server. Same case to download. So I'll just stop that. Now we've been able to have the buttons for uploading data and downloading data, but we need to download which kind of data. Let's go now to our. Let's go to our page. So this is our icon. So in case you need icons, you can always use icons 8, or if there's any better way, you can also suggest down below, and we can so you can also learn from you. Now this is our API, and this API we have counties. All these counties, locations, system codes, and system code details will actually be downloaded on the app. So I'm going to have on our controller. Let's go to our controller, and that is the tokens controller. So this controller, I'm going to use it for our most of our authentication and anything related to settings. Now, I want us to create another endpoint. So this endpoint, we are going to call it settings. So these settings, we will be downloading anything related to the. I'll just pass. So here, I'll just remove this, but we'll be authenticating our app using the ARA token. So if you want to know how that is going to work, just stay tuned. Subscribe, like the video, and turn on the notification bell. So here we have the settings. Then I want us now for this API response, I can create another view model here. Then we'll call this settings view model. So this settings view model, I want us to be giving us a list of things. So I'll say public list, and I can call these farmers. So it will be giving us a farmer list of farmers. So you can download farmers with one endpoint and all the other details. But in case, instead of doing a lot of calls or many calls to the API, so you can just do one call, retrieve all the details, and save it locally on our mobile app. But in case we want now just to check a single things, then we can use the other endpoints. But because we want to ensure that we are able to get this, so I'll say here farmer, then I can say this is agents, field agents, then I can say this is agents. I can also get locations. This will be one endpoint that is giving us everything. So this is location. So is it the correct location? Just ensure yes. So then we also have system code. System code. This will be system codes. Then you also have system code detail. System code detail. This will be system code detail. Then you also have here. Which other one? Counties. County. Then we can call these counties. So let's check on our table what we have. So we need to pull those data. So someone can log in, go to where there is no internet connectivity, work without any connection, because we have all these settings on the app. So we'll be having the counties, farmers, field agents, locations, system codes, and system code details. So that's fine. So I think this is okay. I'll come back to our app. Then I'll say this is I'll say the settings response. So for settings response, I'll do this. So I want to retrieve everything here. I'll just so here I'll also inherit. I'll do this. I'll inherit API response. So this one, just to ensure that we have, in case there's an error, we're able to get that. So I'll set this here, and I'll also do this here. So you see, you'll be able to get the results as well. Now, here, I'll do this. So I'll just come here, and I'll say variable. I'll do here. I'll say this dot counties. So counties. We need to initialize it. Say new list county. So I'll just do that. Then I'll say variable counties. Not even that way. I'll just do this. After initializing, I can say await underscore context dot counties. Then I say to list async. So this one, do we need also, remember here on our counties, we are just pulling everything, but we will see how because this is an API, you can actually allow as no tracking. So we are not updating anything, you're just pulling the data. So that's the counties. So then I can do the same thing here. So these will be our counties. So you can do this, and also you can minimize the fields that you are pulling to the app. So I can copy this here. Then I can say this is locations. This will be my location. Then I can say locations. These locations, same case. Then I can also say here, system codes, and do your system codes. This is system codes. Can do system code here. Then I can also do this. Then I can say system code details. Can be a system code details, and this is system code detail. Then I'll have my system code details there. This is the case. Which other detail do you have? So you can have the farmers. I'll do your system code. You can do your farmers. Then I'll say here farmer. I'll do your farmers. And this is farmers. This is farmers. Then agents. So for now, I'll just pull all the agents. But remember, the agents are the ones who are logged into the app. So we'll be pulling only the details of the specific agent who is logged in. So for now, let me just open it. Once we authorize our app, then we'll filter it. So then which other data do we need? So we've done, so we need counties, farmers, field location, system codes. So have we done counties, location, system codes, farmers, and agents? So I think that's fine. So we do this, then we can return that. So after doing that, then we'll be having, so this will be our endpoints. So so this will be HTTP get. So let's just do this HTTP get. So we'll have these endpoints. So let me launch our endpoint and see if we can be able to pull all those list of records. So then in one call, we can get everything instead of doing multiple calls. So let's just see. If you go to our API, we'll have another, so you see we have settings here. So if I click on settings and click execute, so it should give us, so you can see we have locations. So field agents and farmers, we don't have anything. Then we have system codes. We have all these data. But now I'll also love to ensure that whenever we are logging in, instead of waiting for these details, we can just log in and get the details at a go. So that's also another option that we can explore. So one thing that you can do, you can come back here on our app. So you see these settings here. Let me just show you. I'll copy it and have it here again, and I'll close it. Then this one that is here, I'll rename it and call it get mobile. I'll call it get mobile app settings. And then this one, I don't want it to be, so I'll say it API Explorer settings. Then these I can say it ignore. I'll call it ignore API, and I'll have it as true. So this one will be kind of so this will be private. So I want this to reuse this method here, so that I'm able to get the list of things. Now I can just come here and say variable settings equals to this, and I can do this. Then I can say here await, I'll get my response. So then I can do something like this. I'll just say here, let's say here, I'll come here and say if this is not null, then return success. If it's not null, if it's null, just do I'll just do this. The reason I'm doing this, I'll also reuse this one in our login, so that whenever you log in, you just get the same, you get all those things without calling another endpoint. So when the user logs in, then they automatically have those settings without requiring another API call. So if we go back to our settings, so we realize we have the tokens, try execute. Then you can see we have the data. So this is the data that we have. Now, the next thing that we need to do is we now have our settings view model. So I'll just copy this, and we can go to our app. Where is our app? Go to our entities model. Then I'll just paste it here. So this is API status. I think for mobile we are calling it. I don't think we have that. So you can copy it as well. Let's copy the API response. Then I'll just come here on our, and I paste it here as well. So we'll be having our API response here. Then here we'll be having farmers, field agents, locations. This is system code detail. Then this is counties. So this is what we have here. So for the settings page, this view model, we now need to go to our interface, and we can define another endpoint. That endpoint will be settings. So let's go to settings, this one. We'll just copy it and have it as settings. This will be settings. We don't have anything to pass, then we'll say this is get. So that is get. Then after that, then we can have this one will be settings view model. Then after doing settings view model, we need to go to our implementation service, and we can implement that particular method. So we'll say here, click on that. Then we need to, it will be something like this. So here we'll just have this, and we say get. This will be settings. Then here we'll say this is async. So this will be async, and will be good. So we can now call this particular method, and we can get the data. So if we go back to our data exchange, so that's one. So I think we can just use this download button, but I'll show you how. So this is download button. So this download button, we can say variable. So we can say variable downloaded data equals to. So you can say this is underscore API. Then we can say here settings. So then we can say here if downloaded data is not null, then we process. So process the downloaded data. For example, you can save it locally or update the UI. Else, what else? You can say download failed. No data was downloaded from the server. So that's fine. So then here we can set this to false here. So I'll do here false, and that should be fine. We'll just come here and we should be good. Now here we can save the data that we have, but even before, I think this should be, we are actually doing it on the upload, but it should be within the download button. So if we have this, we can, so let's just try to do something. So let's launch our API and try to see if we can access the records from our app. So that's the first thing that we should do. So if we click download, then we should be able to get the data. So I'm going to put a breakpoint on our app, where here, just to check if we can get the record. So let me launch our app again. So if you're watching our video until this particular point and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, like, and also comment down below. So I'll just go to our app. So our app is launching. So there we go. And you can see this is our app. Then here, I'll go to Data Exchange. If I click download, you can see this is where the download is. Let me put a breakpoint there and also on the try catch if you have any issue. So if we just continue, so you can see our data is being downloaded. There we go. So we don't have an error. And you can see here we don't have any data. So what happened? So let's just proceed. So let me just put a breakpoint also on this other end. Where is it? On our API. So we see if we are actually getting, it is hitting this particular point. So if I just proceed, let me stop the app. This is the API. Let me stop the app as well. Are we getting the response from the app? So let's just confirm. So let's hit our download. If we just go back here, say Data Exchange, then we hit download. We proceed. Yes, you can see it is hitting our API. So we move next. So here we are getting the, you see it is not giving us anything. This is the status code is 200, then the value. Oh, I see where the issue is. So you can see here we have these values here. So this one, it should actually here. There's a problem that we have done here which is not right. So here it should actually return for us. It will return this. It will return our model. So here we should say return the response. Here we should say return the response. Here we should say return the response. It should return this. So let's stop the API. So if we launch again, we'll have to stop our app now again. Or if we proceed, it should be fine. We had switched the indicator off. So you can see it says bad gateway. So if we launch our API, let's confirm the API is running. So we try to click download. Let's see. So you see it's there. If we proceed, it has come here and it is giving us now the view model. So you see, it's giving us the view model. The counties, we see we have a lot of counties here. We've done 20. We have system codes, system code details. So we just proceed. We go back to our app. We have a breakpoint there. So there we go. Download the data. We should see all the data. You see, you have the counties, which is 20. So you have this data that we've downloaded. Then we have the locations. Then we have these other details. Now, after doing that, that means we can get the data from the server. So what we need to do now, we need to process the records that we've downloaded. And one thing to do is to actually save them locally in our app. So what I want us to do now is to save the data that we download, that is the settings from the server, and store it locally. So I'll just come here and say if download system codes details is not equal to null, and let me just say, and that is greater than 0, then I'll say for each. So I'll just loop and say for each. So you can see here, I'll say for each system codes, if existing. So I'll say here, so this wants us to check if a record is existing. So let's check. We can create another method then, the database. So let's go to our data store. Then I'll just pass. You can use get table row. So I don't know why. So let's just use get table row. Get table row. Then you can say here system for detail. Then we'll pass our database. Then we also pass our model. We'll pass our ID. Say ID. So we have ID here. So we pass ID, and then that ID, then you say this is to string. So if we have a record, we'll just say this is so if there is an existing item, so you can just say update, then you say here app dot database dot update. Then we'll only update what we have. So else we'll need to create the record. So we'll say app dot database dot create async. So I'll just remove this here, and I'll create this item here. So that's fine. So for every, so this is a system code details. I'll do the same for, also do the same for system codes. So here I'll say system codes. Sorry, this should be actually outside. I'll do it here. But now we need to check if it's null. And we can do this as well. So here will be system code. So this will be system codes, and this is system codes. Then here we'll also do system code. This is system code. The same case, I'll just do that. Then I'll create and do the same for, so this will be, I'll do the same for farmers. I'll say farmers, if we have any farmers data, then these will be farmers. Can do here farmers, these will be farmers. So then I can just, I think I can just do delete. I can just delete, then I can remove this. So if it's there, delete, then insert, instead of doing the update. Now I can do the same for agents. So agents, field agents, this is agents, this is agents. Then I can say this is agents, agents. If it exists, delete, create another one. Then we have counties. Do your counties, counties. This is counties, this is counties, this is counties. Then if it exists, delete, create another one. Same case here, locations. Do locations, locations. Then here I'll say locations, this is locations, locations. If it exists, delete, create another one. Then this one will say is busy. Then we can have a message. You can see we have our message call. Data downloaded. Data was successfully and updated in the local database. So you can see we now have locations, counties, field agents, farmers, system code detail. So even here, I think I can just do delete. Instead of updating, you can just delete. Then we are okay. So that's fine. So we just launched the app. We should be able to save data now locally in our mobile app. So you can see these are some of the options that we are downloading from the server. We have the counties, so that someone can just go to the field and work with the app that we have given them. So if you're watching our video and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, like the video, and also comment down below. We notice 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you haven't subscribed. So here, if you go to Data Exchange, if I click download, so you can see our data is downloading. Let me remove the breakpoint on the API side. Then you can see, there we go, we have the data. You can see we have records. So we have the counties, 20 of them, farmer 0, field agent 0, location 7, system codes 8, system code details 8, and system codes 10. So if I just leave it to proceed, let's see if we are going to get an error. You can see data downloaded. Data was successfully downloaded and updated in the local database. So I think that is it for today. I'm going to leave it there. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, subscribe, and see you in our next episode where we'll be trying to map up everything and ensure that we are able to now upload data to the server and bind the data that we've downloaded from the server to our mobile app and use it doing other processes. So that is it.